1560-75. Many music scholars will recognize that as guitar tablature. People in Northeast Ohio recognize that as the numeric moniker for the Numbers Band. Led by Robert Kidney, they have stood for 50 years as one of the most unique bands I've ever seen. And they've had a smattering of outside of Northeast Ohio acclaim, much of it from connections to David Thomas and Perubu and Heathen Records, and more from Kidney's involvement with the Golden Palominos. He wrote the song Animal Speaks that both Jack Bruce and Johnny Lydon sang on the album versions. Kidney toured with the Golden Palominos in support of those albums and got to sing his own song with them live. Numbers Band is played directly below where I'm standing at my annual summer party. It's not so annual anymore, but I had to have them play here. And when I hired Robert, or wanted to hire Robert, he said, "Why would anybody want to hear us?" He made me prove to him that I was worthy of them playing my party. I succeeded. He thanked me afterwards, and kind of shocking that this piece from PM Magazine that aired on May 24th, 1988 was from when the band was only 18 years old, and they're 51 this year, so we're all getting older. But what a gem, what a jewel we've enjoyed in Northeast Ohio because of the Numbers Band. And in this interview, Robert Kidney sums up his job as a musician as play music for free, get paid to move the equipment. And I hope he's getting paid to play music and letting others move the equipment at this point. Let's hope there's an opportunity to move some equipment soon. So enjoy this clip. The Numbers Band on PM Magazine, May 24th, 1988.
And Jeff Kinzbach finds a local rock band that has all the right numbers.
Up next, they're still rocking after all these years, the Numbers Band. At times, they seem polished and professional. At others, vibrant and raucous. For 18 years, 1560-75, the Numbers Band has been providing northeastern Ohio audiences a musical outlet that quenches their rock and roll thirst.
It is a moment few who experience it will ever forget. Fanatical fans, uninhibited emotion, seemingly the power to rock the very foundation of the site from which they'll perform. To many, this is rock and roll. Yet this is also rock and roll, and perhaps no one knows that better than the members of 1560-75, the Numbers Band. Since 1970, they've weathered the storms of limited backing, personnel turnover, and musical reformation to remain as one of the most dedicated bands to ever call Northeast Ohio home.
I think we're certainly playing some rock and roll music, and I think it's indigenous to Cleveland. We don't sound like anyone else, and we don't want to sound like anyone else.
Oh, it takes a particular type of person and someone that's into listening to something that they haven't heard before. I mean, there's a lot of people that like to go out in the evening and hear something that they're very familiar with, so that everything's very comfortable. If you're into hearing something that's different and you haven't heard before, you should come check out this band if you like rock music.
The Numbers is Robert Kidney, composer, lead vocalist, guitarist. Although the focal point of the group, his is a role of unpretentious leadership, for around him is an abundance of talent. Kidney's brother Jack contributes a distinctive musical dexterity. Then there's Terry Hine, perhaps the lesser known yet no less dedicated brother of the Pretenders' Chrissy Hine. And guitarist Michael Stanley and bassist Steve Calabria provide hot riffs, while drummer Frank Casamento makes sure the band rarely misses a beat.
I've learned that the music industry is very similar to the fashion industry, and it changes like that. Things go in fashion, go out of fashion, and one type of music will build on what the other type, but it's mainly an appearance thing. And I think that basic things happen in popular music that create huge waves of change in terms of sound. Like the Led Zeppelin sound is everybody's sound in terms of like heavy metal, thrash, all that. You know, it's all coming back. You can follow it back. But the biggest changes, the most drastic changes, always come in terms of appearance, the way people look.
With the passage of time, the Numbers have evolved from their earlier blend of blues and jazz. And while their current sets are composed of a variety of musical tastes, the Numbers have taken to a hard-edged, cutting style, which keeps them current, yet still quite unique.
I don't think we ever paid conscious attention to what the changes that were going on around us. We, of course, were influenced by listening to things as we listen to music. But our music has never been, I mean, we've never, when disco was a big deal, we never sat down to write a disco song. You know, it was never anything like that. But we've survived through all of it, so. We
are not that unusual. We have so many of the same qualities that other popular big bands have. You know, it's just that we do it in our own way. It's unique. Just like the Police were unique, or just like, you know, the Smithereens are unique. But we don't sound like them.
To many, the band represents an enigma, an 18-year overnight sensation waiting to happen. As for the vinyl output, well, the Numbers have released 3 albums and a 45. Still, the absence of a major recording label has, perhaps, restricted the band in terms of studio freedom and glamorous benefits.
It's always a job.
Always. You wouldn't be a professional if you didn't look at it as a job. It is my job. It is my career. It's my craft. It's also an art. And I also get a lot from it. But it's also drudgery.
We can play for a crowd of 50 people, and if they're not into us, we're not happy. We can play for a crowd of 15 people, and if they're into us, we can really get into it.
The way I've been looking at it recently is I play music for free. And I move the equipment for money.
Alongside the group's perseverance and drive is its adaptability. For no matter the venue size, the Numbers come to play.
We played the Agora not too long ago. We played some of those old Strand theaters that they've turned into clubs. You get the band on a nice big stage, and that's the most fun. In terms of clubs, if there's people and it's happening, it doesn't really matter.
I think the biggest problem that bands have, they play original music, they try to break out of whatever level they're in, is the change in moving from a small place in a club where you're right next to the people right in front of you to a big stage. And that's the biggest thing going for this band. When it gets on a big stage, it lights up even more.
I think their music is accessible, it's interesting. You never know what's going to happen in terms of the crowd and the band and the spontaneity that takes place, even though they've been playing the same clubs for a number of years.
Why I like them? They're a melting pot of rock and roll. They have elements of jazz, blues, rock, R&B, and all that put together makes a band that everyone would like.
As seasoned veterans of the rock wars, the Numbers Band has experienced it all, from reviews of promise to those of lesser acclaim. Yet the Numbers Band continues to rock on, epitomizing the true spirit of the music they perform.